it is very important for us to know our history. So that's why I'm back today with another book talk. Let's get into it. Lady, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a book talk on two graphic novels that I recently posted a video about. I really enjoyed them, and at first I was like, no, I don't need to do a review, but then I didn't see many reviews, so I figured why not. The two books that I'm talking about is these here. This is March book 1, and this is March book 2. These books are written by John Lewis, Andrew Aden, and Nat Powell. I believe one of them are, the illustrators. These books were really good. I really enjoyed them. I know I always start all my book talks saying, these are really good. I really enjoyed them, but I really did. But to get into it, for some of y'all who may not know, John Lewis is pretty much, he's an American icon. He is currently a congressman for the state of Georgia, I believe the 5th district. He is originally from Alabama, near Montgomery, Alabama. For those of you, I don't know if you know, but I live in Birmingham, Alabama. So growing up, we learned a lot about the civil rights movement. It wasn't just for Black history like some school districts. Here in Alabama, in Birmingham, we had extensive teachings on the civil rights movement because, hey, I believe this is pretty much the birthplace of the movement. John Lewis, like I said, an American icon. He came from being a sharecropper in Pike County. And in book 1, it starts out with his life. He wanted to be a minister. So it's talked about him as a little boy and travels that he did to help shape him as he grew older. What made him want to get involved in the things that he was seeing and what was going on. Let's flip these books open and you'll look in here, and I hope you can see all of it's in black and white. And I love the illustrations. Like someone else said, I did see one review, the writing is pretty small, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't too difficult to read. It goes from book 1 goes all the way through to the sit-ins. Part of the civil rights movement, one of the main things that African American people, we couldn't sit at certain counters at restaurants, and that's what this illustration is here. They organized a lot of sit-ins, and he started doing this at a very young age. So that's when this one goes through, him sitting in, doing sit-ins, trying to make a change. Now in book 2, it goes all the way through to the March on Washington. John Lewis, as you can see here, picture here, is the only remaining survivor of the, I believe, 10 speakers who spoke on the March on Washington. He was the 6th person to speak. And we all know that the March on Washington was when Dr. Martin Luther King did his I Have a Dream speech. So we all will remember that. And to think that John Lewis, he's still alive, to get a first-hand account from someone. That's why it's very important that we continue to talk to the older people in our generations, our grandparents. If some of us still have great grandparents around, talk to them, because these are the people who have an actual account. They actually live these things. So it's one thing for us to be reading it in the books, but if we can have someone who actually lived it tell us a story, I think that makes a big difference. And that's what these books, because I decided that I was going to go ahead and review them, I thought it just like chronicalized so many events in the movement. You know, him preparing for his speech, how that must have been, you know, knowing he was finna speak amongst all these people. And I think he was in his 20s at the time. Who could say they had did all of that by the time they were 26, 27 years old? Not many of us. One very important aspect of the book that I went back and as I looked over what I said, I forgot to mention is the book starts off with Congressman Lewis getting up on the first day of the inauguration for President Barack Obama. And he's preparing to go to the inauguration, and he has to stop by his office to get some things and prepare to go to the inauguration. Well, while in his office, a mother brings her two young boys in, and you know, she's taking them on a tour, you know, and she stops by his office and she's outside telling the two young boys about Congressman Lewis when she realizes he is actually in his office. So the story is him telling his story. He's telling it to these two young boys. And I feel that is a great, you know, a culmination, the fact that he was such a part of the civil rights movement, and the fact that he is now in Congress, and the fact that he could tell these young boys, it's like he's seeing fruits of his labor by now seeing President Obama as his president, because I'm sure during the civil rights movement that was the last thing they could think about. So I wanted to make sure I did mention that in the movie. That brings out just a unique, movie in the book. That brings out a unique aspect of it. And I think that's why it's meant, you know, for storytelling. So I thank you for watching. That is my book talk, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.